1008 TV News Sports, we are back in the building.
1008 TV, holla back. 1008 TV, holla back. Yeah.
1008 TV, holla back. Yeah.
Holla back.
You're very special. It's time.
1008 TVU Sports, we're in the building, man. And I'm about to hit y'all with the first edition of the 2019 Top 5 for the 11 and 12 year olds. And that's our junior division. And on this, at the end of this show, we also polled the coaches, and we're going to give you the list of how the coaches voted, and they come up with their own top 5, and we can see how they compare to the top 5 that I'm about to give you. And that's how we coming, that's how we rocking, baby. So let's just dive right into the top 5, the junior division. At number 5, the champions from a year ago, the Willie Hall Panthers. And I know the question will come up, well, how they be the champion and they rank number 5? How that work? How it works is this. I know what Willie Hall won that championship with. I know that the core of that team, I know that most of that team was 11, but the core of that team was 12. I know they brought a championship team in from the 9 and 10 year olds. I know all this. But the league is so stack heavy this year that just because they won a championship a year ago doesn't necessarily make them to be the number 1 ranked team coming into this year. But the number 5 team is Willie Hall, led by Coach B, like a championship coach from a year ago. And quiet as kept, he has a championship resume through the course of his career. We're going to see what Lakeith does. We're going to see how do they mesh, how do they put the 11 and 12 year old team together? Do they play one team? Do they play 2 teams? So Willie Hall has a lot of question marks. Who's going to be the number 1 quarterback? Is Lil Chad in camp? A whole lot of questions going on with Willie Hall right now that put them at the number 5 seed in the top 5 power rankings. Number 4 in the junior division power rankings is none other than the Harrell Rams. Coach Rodney, Coach Derek, Coach David. What are these guys going to do this year? Now, Harrell is led by, in my opinion, probably the best running back offensive lineman tandem in the league. And I'm talking about Jason Banks and Landon Alexander. Here's the thing about Harrell, though. It's something like Willie Hall. 11 and 12 year olds meshing together. Harrell's coming out playing the 11-year-old quarterback in Cam Braxton. How is that going to play into the fold of what they're trying to do? Prime time. What prime time going to do? Playing the fold. Key Johnson. But let me tell you what I'm impressed with about Harrell. I'm impressed with my boy Mod. Mod looks really strong at the fullback position, and he looks like he's ready to be a workhorse. So is Key going to get back into camp? But coming in at number 4, we have the Harrell Rams. And look out for Harrell because, in my opinion, Harrell is a championship caliber team this year with 11s and 12 both playing productive minutes for that team. Moving along to the number 3 team. And this is a team that hasn't been talked about much of this year at all. Why? I really don't know. Because they're McHugh. The McHugh Eagles. And that's the team that I think is going to shake up a lot of things in this top 5 moving forward, knowing that a version of the schedules are out, and they'll be lining up with Pontchartrain week 1. So that's going to be a big deal for the McHugh Eagles. But when I talk about the McHugh Eagles, I think about Mr. Norman ain't normal. Let me say it again for you. Norman ain't normal. This little dude he was Fred replacement last year. And we all know when Fred was on the team, it's kind of hard to get limelight. But this year, Norman is that guy. Norman ain't normal. Keep that in your head. Norman ain't normal. He is projected to be a top 3 back in the league. And from coming out of the McHugh camp, people saying Norman the best. Coming out of the McHugh camp. But McHugh number 3 led by Norman. But the thing I like about McHugh is the veteran quarterback that they have in Amani Darrensburg. Lil Minor is known throughout the city. Minor is ready to take the helm of this team, and he's throwing it, he's smooth, and I'm watching him lead. He picked up a lot of size, so he's bigger now. So McHugh Eagles, Minor, Norman, we're going to see what y'all going to do. But the number 3 team is the McHugh Eagles. Coach BJ, Coach Will. What's up, fellas? And the number 2 team in the top 5 power rankings, the Joe W. Brown Spartans, led by, in my opinion, and I got a good opinion on this, and if you see him, you'll know, led by probably the best player in the league. That's Aaron Slim Gooden. People think this little dude come from out of nowhere, but if you've been paying attention for the last 3 years, since I've been paying attention, you knew this little dude, Slim, was special. Let me just give you a little background. He played at Predat when he was 10 years old. He played on a Predat team that played Division I football that year. They didn't win a game, so he went unnoticed. But if you played against him, you knew him. The very next year, at 11 years old, he was on the same Joe Brown team that couldn't really get over the hump because how good the league was last year. And he still did his thing. Went under the radar for year and year. Now, it's Slim time. But for the most part, coaches are going to have the game plan around stopping Slim. And when they game plan around stopping Slim, what's going to happen is they got another playmaker or 2 or 3 or 4 on that team. They do a running back by committee. Don't sleep on Lil Diddy. Lil Diddy is a straight, hard power running back, and he likes to bring contact. And I'm bringing that up because the league is 11-year-old heavy. So when you think about the contact being broken, I'm thinking about some of the corners that I know play in this league, and I think Diddy can handle most of them boys in open field on a one-on-one tackle. He's going to drop that hat on you. Now, when I think about Joe Brown, I know they have playmakers. People think it's all about Slim. They have other playmakers on that team. But what it's going to come down to Joe Brown is Coach Grant. Talk to you. Coach Grant, the pressure on you, bro. What will you do with this team being ranked so high? Is it too much for Joe Brown to be at 2? Can you handle it, Coach? So the city is going to be watching how you handle this particular group to put Joe Brown Spartans back on the map. And without further ado, let's talk about the number 1 team in the city right now. The Pontchartrain Patriots. Coach Ray, Coach Glenn. They have a case to say they got the best player in the league. Young Juice, Lindell Caston. This little dude is something serious, something amazing. But not only do they have Juice, that's something serious and that's something amazing, don't sleep on Trayshawn and Lejeune. Like, they little 3-headed monster at running back, all of them have big play capabilities. All 3 of these little dudes got big play capabilities. But my favorite guy on the team, Big Banks. Big Banks. Can you block Big Banks? So, Pontchartrain is well lit, and they got a lot. They're not the old Pontchartrain team that you seen from a year ago where they all bulky, and big and deep. It's not that type of Pontchartrain team no more. It's a new type of Pontchartrain team with, like I said, this 3-headed monster with Trayshawn, Lejeune, and Juice. Then, my boy Shoulder Pads got added to the mix, and where they really special at, this is where they special at. Number 7, Calvin and Gregory Jones. On the defensive side of the ball, those 2 dudes are, I want to use the word amazing, but they something to see. Gregory and Calvin, Pontchartrain defense, pay attention to them. Now, here go the question with them. Same as Joe Brown, Ray, Glenn. This is supposed to be the hump year for Ray and Glenn. This is the year I think that the pressure is on for them to actually deliver the championship this year because at 11 and 12, they're the number 1 ranked team. In my opinion, from what I've seen, they've got the best team, player for player. Now, can you finish it off this year? They haven't finished it all since they've been running this team. I think this is the year that Pontchartrain should be able to finish the deal. And that's our top 5, 11 and 12-year-old division for the week, for going into week 1. And run down to them again. At number 5, we have the Willie Hall Panthers. At number 4, we have the Harrell Rams. At number 3, the McHugh Eagles. At number 2, the Joe W. Brown Spartans. And the number 1 team in the power rankings, none other than the Pontchartrain Patriots. And that's our top 5. Let's roll. Before we get out of here, let me hit y'all with who the coaches voted for the top 5. And we broke we polled 5 coaches and we got their top 5 response, and we just gave each position on the top 5 list a value point system. And that's how we come up with a coaches poll for the top 5. And on the coaches poll for the top 5, coming in at number 5, the McHugh Eagles. Coming in at number 4, the Harrell Rams. Coming in at number 3, the Willie Hall Panthers. Coming in at number 2, the Joe W. Brown Spartans. And coming in at number 1, the Pontchartrain Patriots. 1008 TV, that's how we rocking, baby. You already know what to do. Holla back, yeah.